Yes. Hello, future MBs. Welcome to the inauguration session and the launch of Placement Booster product. And first of all, congratulations to everyone because you guys are actually eligible to be a part of this workshop and you're sitting here because you have actually converted some of the dream B schools, right? And I really hope that by the end of this workshop, you actually get a fair idea of how the next 2 years of your life being an MBA is going to be, and you actually get a picture of what you want to be and how you can be that person, because there is a lot of confusion which stream I want to choose, whether finance or consulting, or what is it that companies actually look out for. We just hope that at least by the end of these workshops, by the next 30 days, you all will be in a proper shape and you would know what is it that you actually want to do in your life. So let me just take this opportunity to introduce myself and the entire team who has worked really hard to make this product happen for all the students who are actually going to B school. And I'm Shubham Ranka. I'm a graduate of IIT Gandhinagar and I'm Calcutta. And the best thing or the best memory that I have from my 2 years of MBA is the amazing network of brilliant people that I have made, that I can actually reach out to any of the student or maybe any of the alumnus from any college. That is what MBA has actually given me. And that sort of confidence to actually follow my passion. Because we are talking about my passion, so I always wanted to be a part of the education sector and contribute back to the young and the energetic minds of the country in probably whatever little way I can. And this confidence, which was then backed up by all my friends, Prashant is here, and many other support pillars, this entire thing has actually given me has actually given the birth to a rising startup, yes, which is PrepZone, and which I think most of you have been a part of. So let me just take a minute and then let me just talk about how this entire journey of PrepZone has been. So when we guys actually started PrepZone, we had so many ongoing concerns and concerning thoughts in our mind, seeing yeah, there is actually a lot of competition. We have so many big names and big players in the industry. So whether do we really want to invest our energy into something which may not really have a good return? I'm sure these thoughts come to probably all of your mind, or is the major concern of all the students who actually want to go into the startup line. But I think the only thing that I was very, very firm of was the long-term vision, the intent, and the inner motivation that we guys had to help students with the personalized touch. And I knew, because I have been through this process, and I knew that I'll be able to do justice with this idea because I myself had lived this entire journey end to end. And we knew what are the common challenges that an MBA aspirant can face, be it during the CAT preparation, or be it during the GDPR preparation, or maybe in the campus. Not every campus or not every student has a silver lining. So not every student is actually be able to make to the dream campus or to the dream job. So what is it that we guys can actually do to help those students? And from there to here, I think it has been a really roller coaster ride in the last 2 years or 3 years, if I have to say. So just cutting this entire long story short, MBA will definitely give you guys the wings that you guys need to start whatever that you guys had been planning to. You all might have some dreams. Ki, I want to start this. I want to start something in the hospitality sector, etc., etc. But then you never had the courage and proper guidance and proper networking of people. And that is what MBA is going to give you. By the way, if you guys have any ideas you want to discuss, you want to get it reviewed, feel free to just text me, and then I'll be so happy to give my feedback or the discuss the idea. Okay, and now I would like to invite our quiz master, Prashant sir, to just share a few words about himself.
Okay, guys. So actually, this idea came from you guys because when someone was asking that what to do in the next 2 months when we are going to join B school, so then we came with this thought that why not we should do something to help people, because this is the very new initiative where we are going to tell you about almost all the aspects that you are going to cover in your B schools. And most important, here we will also be covering the case competitions, because now companies are more focused on case competitions. Even for hiring, they are using the case competitions. So this will be the totally new experience for us as well as you. So take your like whatever you can take from here, just take. And we will also learn from you because this is the new blood and the new enthusiasm that you guys will be taking here. Plus, because if I check my journey when I started in 2016, so no one was there to help me to tell me that what is product management, because product management, when I came out of the campus, even in 2019, I heard this term first time. So when you have worked with the people or when you hear from the industry experts, you came up the new what new things in the market or what is the new buzz in the market. So learn as much as you can in this like next 20 days, and so that you can start your journey well, and we will try to help you as much as we can. So over to Shubham.
Sure. Thank you, Prashant, for the introduction. And so, my dear mentees, without any further ado, I, Shubham Ranka, on the behalf of entire team Prep Zone, I heartily welcome the inaugurator of today's session, Dr. Madan Kumar Srinivasan. Just to give a few words about himself, though his journey is something which definitely cannot be expressed in a few words, but yeah, I'll just try to do justice with words. So Dr. Madan is an inventor of 65 cloud artificial intelligence and analytics product patents. And he's currently the Cloud Advisory Innovation Principal and lead at Accenture Innovation Lab, Accenture Innovation Hub. Prior to Accenture, he has worked as an assistant director and principal consultant at GSTF Singapore. And Dr. Madan has also authored 9 book chapters in 7 different research textbooks and has received the top 100 scientist award from IBC Cambridge. That is about his journey so far. And just an offline thing, that Madan is also my senior from IIM Calcutta. So when I happened to just discuss about this idea of placement booster program with him, he was so keen to know about it. And after actually knowing the intent and what we are actually planning, he was so kind enough to accept our invitation to come here, speak a few words in spite of having a busy schedule. So here I would like to invite you, Dr. Madan, to just come over for the inauguration ceremony.
Hello, Shivam. Hi, everybody. So, as we are meeting online, so we thought of making the inauguration quite relevant to the physical inauguration. So let me cut the ribbon.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Madan. So yeah, I'll just take a few more minutes to just give you guys a brief of what this entire thing is actually going to be about. And so this session, as the name also suggests, that this is a placement booster workshop. So the idea here is, and the actual crux of this entire workshop is to make you guys stand out from your competition in a B school. So we know that you're going to be fighting, and you guys actually going to be competing with the 450, 500 brilliant minds of the country, and their competition actually becomes a little difficult. So we actually intend to do this with while using our expertise and our entire experience of MBA and the corporate world. So we guys know what are the common challenges, what are the things that you would need, what are the things that can actually make you stand out. So this entire course is very well structured to ensure that we guys give you enough idea and knowledge about all the different career streams and a good head start for your summer placements, which I'm very sure is the next big event for your journey. In fact, most of the guys, while deciding whether to go to Ahmedabad or Calcutta or like any 2 different campuses, you guys are more focused about where you'll be able to stand out, where you guys will be able to get a good placement. And that is the criteria which you guys are following, as far as I've talked to a few students. So like whatever companies and sector you guys are targeting for your day zero offers, this workshop is the single point solution for your interest. So now I'm just really delighted to present to you the placement booster package. So in my experience, what happens is, like many students after entering a B school, they actually neglect and they forget about grooming themselves for the D day. And what they do is they'll just wait for the placement season to come, only to realize and regret later on that, okay, had I started this, had I know about these companies, had I know about this sector, or had I know what and how to prepare, I would have done it in a much, much better way. But then MBA doesn't really give you a second chance. So like whatever percentile you have gotten, be it 90 percentile, be it 85 or be it 99.99, it does not matter at this moment. And whatever college or B school that you're going to, whether it is NITI or Narsimunji or Ahmedabad or Maika or etc., or even New IMS. See, the feeling that you have converted, you have done a lot of success must sink in right now. And let us look forward for a successful and exciting 2 years of MBA so that once you graduate, hopefully you also get to experience the college life. So once you basically convocate, you really feel happy with no regrets, right? And given this pandemic situation, placement is definitely becoming one of the most concerning area, to be very realistic. And that is exactly where PrepZone comes to you as a lifesaver with this placement booster workshop. So this is a belief of what you all are going to learn and master in the next 30 days. In the next 30 days of this workshop, we are going to learn and master a lot of things. So this is just a glimpse of what it will be. I will come to the minute details of each and every sector, what all will be the topics, what all will be the structure, what all will be the date, and probably in the later half of this presentation. So just stay tuned. And with this, I'll invite Dr. Madan back to take the podium and enlighten all the students with his journey.
Thanks, Shubham, for the great start, and I wish PrepZone team all the best.
Thanks.
So let's get started. Hope all can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, hi everybody, and first of all, yeah, big congratulations to each one of you are here. I mean, so you made the I don't know, I wouldn't call this as a first success, but you made an enormous effort and you got your dream B school. And you know, now the question is, what is next, right? So I'm going to spend some 35 minutes to talk about few related and general things. I'm sure it will be of some relevant. And what Shubham asked me is he wanted me to bring in the experience of when I did my IIM Calcutta program and during my recruitment and the whole journey, you know, how I felt and what would make the fresh MBAs who are enrolling, that will be helpful for them, right? So I tried to make a mix of few things. Also, I brought an interesting story. I'm sure at any point of time, of course, this is little late evening. We are going towards night, but any time, any situation, we all humans like to hear some story. So I just brought an interesting lightweighted story, but also it has an important message for all of us to take it from, right? So let's get started. So see, so far in your life, I'm sure each one of you have undergone a lot of struggles. In fact, many of my friends and colleagues, whenever they talk little negative about COVID and whatever this was happening, you know, they always, in fact, like, you know, in January, I remember many of them shared, they called and on January 1st, they called and they shared all sadness, right? This is a very different new year, at least to me. I'm not sure about all of you, right? All of them, you know, cursed 2020. Then they said, this is the worst year in my life, and I struggled and I lost this. I pray that like 2020 go and I want 2021 to come, and so on, right? So then I was just thinking about what others shared with me, and I was trying to reflect what was my 2020, and also I was trying to look back my 2019, 18, 17, and so on, then a simple conclusion for me is, of course, 2020 was a tough year. We all expected 2021 to be something different for all of us, but what we are experiencing is little reverse and different. But back then in January, a few months before, when I was just thinking, was it only 2020 made our life tough, right? Probably you all can think about it. And I'm sure we all will realize from our birth till now, we have seen a lot of struggle. May not be like a pandemic, but in different way and in different circumstances and for different reasons, right? We all have undergone much, in some cases, bigger troubles, right? So we all struggled in the past and we survived, and that is where we are called as human, right? Human is all about survive end of the day, right? Now coming back, of course, coming back to today's session and today's contest. So far, like, you have uh, had a lot of dreams about your education, about your profession, and what do you want to be, etc. And you did well in your school, you did well in your grad school. Now you are in the next stage. Now you wanted to be a great manager in any specific field of your dream. So to achieve your selected B school, right? You planned quite some time before. You made your preparation. You came up with your strategy, how, what, and when. Of course, I'm sure most of you on this call have taken your support and help from Prep Zone, and then finally you reached your goal. If not the final goal, at least to get into your dream B school, you would have reached by now, right? Now once again, what is next? So you achieved one of the very important milestone in your life. So you have chosen maybe the actually dreamt school, or else probably the next one for some reason, right? But whatever the exams you gave, whatever the marks that you have scored, I'm sure like you have got your school. Right now, what is next? So I'm not talking about what is next month, next year, or whatsoever, but what is generally next? What is going to be the next big target for all of you on the call, right? Probably the answer would be many can say many things. Of course, I'm sure people whomever have chosen your B school, one reason would strongly be the campus, right? In fact, I still remember the first day when I got the admission letter from IIM Calcutta. It was my dream school as well, and then the among many other happiness, I have seen IIM Calcutta's photos in online, but I was so happy that okay, I'm going to see the campus. The campus is known for its lakes and nature, right? We live with nature in Joka, right? So every campus has its own unique feature, and lake is the specialty of Joka, Calcutta, right? And I still remember the day one when we went with my friends. We reached in the late night, and even the same night, almost 3.5 hours, a few of us, we roamed possibly all the campus in a chill weather. But still, it was a crazy act, but still we wanted to do that as a memory, right? So all of you want to go to your campus, experience the campus life, but we are not sure what is going to happen given pandemic and COVID, etc. But ultimately, your primary bigger target, the next target is your dream job, and you are going to spend your next 24-25 months uh, to equip yourself to be ready to capture that dream job, right? So now, uh, what do you need to do? See, as a first step, when I spoke with Shubham, when he talked about this particular product that he want to launch from Prep Zone, I wanted more information. In fact, I was surprised. Then when he shared his thoughts, and then he also asked me if I can help him in formulating some courses and share my experience, etc. Then we all together made a larger WhatsApp group with the tutors whom are going to teach you. So we all, I think, around 20-member team is behind this entire program schedule, curriculum, and everything, right? So yeah, yeah, considerable amount of hard work has already gone, and the contents are ready, and they reviewed it. When I was there and when I shared my input and when I was seeing the curriculum coming up, uh, honestly, even Shubham may not know this, but I really envied all the participants whoever are going to take this workshop, that too before you even stepping into your campus day one, right? So it's so amazing content. It's like, you are going the tutors are almost all of them are from very popular IMs and other top B schools, and they prepared a content in their specialization, not just from their educational background, but also from their experience perspective. They made a fantastic course curriculum and complete content, which they are going to say, the content has come up in such a way that, like, what they, even the tutors could have focused more on their 2 years of MBA, and then what they could have additionally prepared for their interview, right? So it is
Okay.
a uh, uh, you know uh, uh, it's actually a secret sauce of let's say 10 plus successful individuals, and they are going to give that to the participants who are going to register for this workshop. So certainly I felt uh, I hugely missed similar product when I enrolled for my management program, right? So that way you all are lucky. Now, uh, before I move on to further discussion and share my experience, let's get into a story. Okay, so the story goes this way. I mean, before I start the story, some of you would have heard this story in the past. Even if you would have heard the story, I made very minor tweaks inside the story. In addition to it, I'm 100% sure the animation and the pictures which I have added myself personally would be a treat for your eyes, and I'm sure you will enjoy. Even if you know the story, probably you can actually look forward to the images, and you can react to it, right? Okay, so there is a giant ship. The engine got failed somewhere in the middle of the ocean. The ship's owner tried with many experts internally, but somehow none of them could able to identify what is the problem and fix the engine. And then, uh, you know, after they gave up, they brought an old man. This guy is an experienced guy, and he's fixing many ships over many years. So he comes in. He comes with a tool bag, and then he did not waste any time. He just immediately got into the engine and the required compartments, and he started his work. He was inspecting everything. He was just checking all the part carefully. So he completely inspected top to bottom of the ship. Then owner was just there. He was just observing. The owner was like, many people have not fixed it, like how what this guy is going to really do. So he was just observing this guy. After looking everything, the old man just he goes to his bag, just pull out a small hammer, then he go to one specific spot in the large ship, and then he gently taps there. uh, just instantly the engine started running, right? It just came into life. So all are happy. Engine is fixed. So this person, he put his hammer away. Then what next? Obviously the owner has to pay this engineer, right? So owner received a bill, a little huge bill. So just $10,000 is what this engineer charged the owner. Obviously this will be the reaction of the owner, right? So owner said, like, you hardly did anything, you just tapped, that's all. What else you did? Then the old man explains, yes sir, you are right. I just tapped, nothing more than that. So for tapping with the hammer, my charges is just $2, but knowing where to tap is what the rest of the bill, right? So uh, I mean, the moral of the story is, effort is important, but knowing where to make an effort makes all the difference, right? There are many ways to convey this message. I thought this may be an interesting story for you guys to listen in the evening and little chill out from your already on fiery mode, right? So um, it's very very clear, right? You tried everything and you put your hard work, and now you got into your dream B school, and now you are going to spend your remaining 2 years to do all the preparation, right? So what is important is, end of the day, there are few things which you cannot ignore and eliminate, uh, be it any B school you are part of, right? So make sure, uh, of course, I'll tell you my experience with my classmates and my other friends. Till their graduation, I have seen a lot of my friends, they are very serious till their 12th standard or plus two or intermediate, right? Before they get into any graduation college. So they'll be very serious about their life. They'll be very serious about their marks. They will do everything really, really well. And then, like majority of the percentage, they will lose focus even after 12th standard. When they come to college, maybe first year they'll be serious, but remaining 2 years or 3 years, depending upon which bachelor degree they have chosen, their focus will actually go, right? Only probably, like, some minor percentage, like some 30-35% of the folks, they really come out with flying colors from their graduation school. And now, uh, and this is what the biggest trick is: when you complete your graduation, when you want to go for your masters, any masters for that matter, right? Whether a B school or an engineering degree, or anything else of your interest. Now they will try hard to get into their dream master's college, but that is where many loses the track, right? So like, you struggle so much, probably you may need to continue the struggle, you may need to continue the focus for, I wouldn't say 2 more years, but I would say you need to continue this journey for few more years, right? Why? Because it is easy for me to come to this inauguration session and then say, just next 2 years you work hard and then get job and you relax. So it doesn't work that way, right? After you get into job also, that will be entirely a new area. It will be a new office, new business, uh, totally a new context. Even in your job, you need to put some time to understand and learn and then adapt yourself to that environment, right? So you need to continue your learning, basically. And the first two important things for anybody to grow further, and again, if I cut that short, if I talk from the specific context of all the audience here, the moment you are joining your B school, uh, like if you are going to enroll for this placement booster workshop, believe me, like this is going to make your life much easier, because you have the coverage of almost all important domains. I think 7 domains are covered along with many activities. So you will be clear with all the domains under required skills. So they may not teach you all the skills in this 1-2 months period, but they will give you a very clear clarity of what are all the important top domains, and then what skills that are needed for you, right, to focus on. Now these two things are very important. And if you are not if you have some other plans and you want to directly join your B school, even then you have to be very clear. First of all, understand all the major domains in a business management program, and then choose your domain. I wouldn't recommend just go with only one domain. Probably, like, it's always better to have one primary and one secondary domains, and then try to focus on as many skills that you can earn from that particular domain, right? Moving on, I thought of talking about at least one particular domain and the relevant skills. So at least to analyze how you can identify the relevant skills from any particular domain. So as analytics and AI is the domain where I work, and that's my day in and day out. So I thought of talking from analytics and AI perspective. I think we can keep this little more interactive. Um, you know, can you list out what all the skills that you think are important when it comes to analytics and AI domain? You can type your answers in the chat. Probably I'll go through the chat. According to you, what are the skills that are needed? Coding, statistics, data analysis, comprehending data, critical reasoning, quant, problem formulation, statistics, data interpretation, curiosity, excellent, analytical mindset, Excel, data analysis, visualization, fantastic. Business sense, fantastic. I'm glad, like, majority of the skills are covered. I think, I'll take you further. I think I'll try to give you the complete list. Again, these lists are not from any textbook or some article. So I prepared this list by my experience. It may be complete, it may not be complete for others' perspective. Right, of course, the first and foremost important skill is uh, uh, the techniques, right? You need to be good at, you need to be strong at statistics, machine learning algorithms, different techniques, deep learning, and AI techniques, right? So these are all techniques, probably at a theoretical level, at a formula level, right? So we can call that as a subject matter, right? So these skills you can call, you can summarize that as a subject matter. The second skill that you may need are the tools, the analytical related tools skill, right? You all would have heard about Python or sorry, that is SPSS, SAS, and other analytical tools, right? So you can call them as analytical tools. The next skill may be Tableau, Microsoft Power BI, SAP Business Object, Zoho Analytics, and so on, right? After you use your subject matter on data by using the above mentioned analytical tools, you need to visualize. So these are the tools for visualization: Tableau, Power BI, Business Object, or the MicroStrategy, or the tools for visualization. And again, after you build all this, where are you going to host it, right? And we are talking about business analytics or data analytics, right? So now you can just host it in a small server or an internal system inside your LAN. It may not really give that scaled or the performance outcome to the organization, right? It may not be useful for larger audience, right? So in order to reach larger audience, you need to go with better tools and better deployment platforms, right? You need to choose from AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. You need to be aware of big data platforms like Hadoop, Spark, and other larger deployment or so-called data engineering tools, right? That is the next skill. The fifth skill I would list is the domain skill, right? Be it HR, finance, or anything of your own interest, right? So it is not about knowing the techniques and then knowing how to use the tools. You should also know the domain very well. Unless you know what analysis would make sense in a manufacturing industry, you cannot give a proper insights to the both the business leaders or to the business team they are trying to drive and achieve better profit to the customers and to the company itself, right? So you need to have a very strong domain knowledge, right? So of course, I think I have listed five important top skills, but I feel one more skill is missing. Can somebody fill the gap? What would be that one skill that is missing? Okay, people skill, yes. Of course, the soft skill, communication skill, people skill can be another skill in my list, which probably I have missed it. That can be added. Even on top of it, there is one more skill missing. Can you assume? Okay, learning, good. Gopal's answered learning. Okay, so the next important skill, which is the great missing skill in the industry, whenever we look for candidates to hire, like this skill is something which we always look for, but we never get it that easily, right? That's a common sense or a time sense, right? It is not about which domain you are an expert, what data you are analyzing, what tools you are using, where you have deployed, etc. Those are also very important. At the same time, you should apply your common sense, you should apply the time sense. You should know what insights, what data outcome to present to which set of audience. If you don't know the common sense in analytical industry, then surviving here and being a successful person will be very, very difficult, right? So now probably the first five listed skills can be taught, but the common sense is something like, it's so individualistic. So unless you practice, unless you read a lot, unless you update yourself holistically, nobody can help you, right? So the reason I brought this slide with uh, this coherent content is for you to just give a kind of a high level idea of how you can look at any domain uh, at a high level holistically, and then come up with the necessary skills into it. Now the question is, let's say some of you on this call would be interested and you wanted to be an expert, you wanted to be a successful successful person, successful leader in analytics and AI industry, right? Now can you pick up all the skills and can you master in everything? The answer is yes. If you have your will, and then if you have your heart, and if you can put your time, of course you can do it. Even otherwise, I would suggest, don't stop yourself with only one skill. Try to expand your horizon in any particular domain for more than one skill, right? The more the skills that you are going to have, the more demand you will have from both your immediate hiring placement company, or else when you traverse in your future. Now probably I'll share my experience as a recruiter, what I would look forward when I go for hiring, either in B school or in engineering schools or whatever, right? But mostly, for a recruiter, the hiring is going to be quite common. Probably, I don't know whether it is good or bad. Whenever, as a recruiter, we go to our schools where we studied, probably the sentiment and attachment will be more. We tend to get more of our juniors to our team. So that is the only bias thing. But otherwise, the hiring strategy is quite common anywhere, right? Now, probably, like, before I answer as a recruiter, what I would look forward to the candidate, I'll just give you a very simple question, an easy question, right? You just yourself think, if you are a recruiter, let's imagine like you have a family business. Now you want to hire some employees of any level, be at a lower level or a middle management or a top management, right? When you want to recruit a person, what you would look forward to that person, right? If you can just think this, and if you can list out what are all the qualities that you would look forward, and then if you try to prepare yourself on those qualities, I'm sure you don't need any input from anybody, right? So you each one of you will have your answers already on your hand. Right, now coming back, let me give you, in case if I go as a recruiter and if I recruit, like what I look forward, right? The foremost thing I look forward is the foremost. Okay, I think that's good. I can ask people, like you can answer what you would look forward if you're going for hiring, right? Charm, loyalty, leadership skills. Fantastic. Go ahead. People skill, humble, same vision, problem solving skill, decision making capability, get the job done, attitude, open to learning, domain knowledge, interest, passion in the domain, performer, time management. Fantastic. Of course, I mean, whatever the skills I read out, I cannot skip any single skill as a recruiter. Like the more you are going to have, I am going to happily hire you, right? But now let us prioritize what are very important, right? Of course, Suraj said, smiles more. Of course, I think at some point of time, I know, as far as Prepzone concerned, it is a proud product from my own, my one of my favorite junior, Shubham, right? So from the beginning, I advise, and I just see how Prepzone has come a long way, and how Prepzone has produced a lot of successful candidates to achieve their dream MBA colleges. I'm sure I'll be part of it in long run, and at some point of time, either now or later, I may come and I will take some sessions for you guys. I'll talk about more granular things about how we do recruitment. Typically, I'll share my personal experience without violating the company secrets and the company policies, which I am not supposed to talk. But of course, I can give my general experience. I can share it with my brothers and sisters as a senior to you in AB school, right? So I'll do that in some point of time. So I'll just while I'll just cut the topic short, and I'll give you some of the very important primary things that a recruiter look forward to, right? The first and foremost thing, right? Probably you can put that as a zeroth priority, is you have to showcase. You don't have option. You have to showcase your learning capability. You have to showcase that, see, it's okay, somebody comes and sit in an interview, especially in a B school, when we go for recruitment, while we ask question, when you answer, you would have prepared well, right? When you answer, you may be a knowledgeable person, or you may lack knowledge in a particular domain. That is still okay, right? Doesn't matter. You make the interviewer feel that you are a learner in the past, and you are expressing that you learn after joining my team or after joining my company. So that you have to, it's not, like, you may say, I am a good learner. It's not sufficient. You need to showcase it. You need to showcase your talent. You need to make the recruiter realize that this guy was a learner. He is learning for the interview also, and he is promising that after joining my company or my team, he will still learn. For example, if I ask you, do you know random forest? Do you know how to effectively optimize the number of trees in random forest? Now it may be a technical question. You would have not focused on random forest, but decision tree. Now you can answer to me saying that, see, I know decision tree, probably I can answer something from decision tree. But if random forest is needed for the project after I join Accenture, probably I will immediately learn. I'll put my personal time, and I will learn, and I'll deliver the solution. So this is what I want to listen as a recruiter, not me. Almost everybody, we want somebody to promise, because as the technologies are evolving every day, algorithms are coming every day. And in fact, like in all R&D centers, there are engineers, like including my team, we are coming up with new innovative algorithms in analytics, right? We introduced a lot of new algorithms. Now, uh, because one of my team member has introduced an algorithm, it will not be sufficient. That is not a success for Accenture, right? I want other of my team member to learn this algorithm and apply it wherever required. So the learning for an existing team member is also very important. And if you showcase that I am possessing that capability of what you expect as your team member, yes, you are almost 70% you are in the interview, right? The first important quality, you showcase that you are a learner. The second important quality, right, which you cannot skip, you challenge the interviewer. Challenge the interviewer. What do you mean by challenge the interviewer? Now, I'll go back to the same example. I asked the question from one topic which you don't know, right? I asked technique B, whereas you know technique A. Now, you can clearly say, see, in my curriculum, this is what is covered, or else in my project, I have explored decision tree or technique A, right? Now, I am very comfortable in technique A. You can ask anything in technique A, right? I don't know anything about technique B, or I know just introduction of technique B. If it is needed, I will learn at later point of time. But for interview, please do not reject me by asking questions from technique B, which I don't know, right? Now, the moment you challenge the interviewer positively, right? Believe me, you are 80-85% in the company. I think I will leave it here. I will not go more, considering time and Q&A, right? I'll just give you only two techniques, two important things to remember. I mean, like, you practice it not towards the 23rd or 24th month of your MBA, but start from the first month, right? Showcase your learning capability, make the interviewer believe or realize or feel that you are a learner throughout life, right? And the second thing is, clearly challenge the interviewer. Tell him, I know this, I don't know this. You please ask question in this, I will be able to better answer. Right? I am sure these two tips will help you to go places. So quickly moving on, as an alumni, what was my experience? And I mean, I just don't want to talk more. I mean, alumni experience is about the moment you start talking about your college life after any number of years. I mean, in fact, like, the alumni experience, not just from our MBA experience, also from school. If you have shifted 2-3 schools in between, whenever you think about your school days, you will have fantastic memories, right? So the memories and the experience sharing about an alumni is more, and it will occupy a lot of time. It will get into so much emotional and happy mode kind of thing, right? So without getting into that, but probably, like, I will share a few things that had happened to me after my management program, right, at IIM Calcutta, right? I have developed many products even before my program at IIM Calcutta, okay? But after my program, I have started formally filing patents. Now, you can ask, like, did I learn patenting from IIM Calcutta? No, but I have learned the better strategy from IIM Calcutta. Okay. So now, if you look at my 65 patents are filed after I complete my management program from IIM Calcutta. I would owe it. I wouldn't say because I did that course, that is why I did patent. May not be to that extent, but certainly to strategize my number of patents and the way how I want to bring out my roadmap, etc. The plan and the strategy has clearly come from my college, right? And so before doing my management program, I was a manager, right? And I did it as an executive program, 1-year program, sponsored by Accenture. Now, before my program and after a program, do I feel difference? Do I feel that I am a better manager? No doubt, probably 300% is true. Of course, mathematically or analytically, anything above 100% is not the right this thing. But even to stress on how important your MBA period and what you learn from the campus and from the professor, from your junior and from your seniors, everything makes a hell lot of difference, right? So it certainly makes a big difference whether you are working employee or you are a fresh graduate, right? But make sure, in whichever the case, you have working experience or you are a fresh graduation completed person going into your masters, in whichever the case, make the maximum benefit out of few things that I'm going to list, right? As Shubham said, in fact, like each one of you who are on the call, you'll all agree with me, you'll agree with Shubham, after your 2 years or after 5 years from today, that beyond whatever you learn from book and everything, the networking, the social networking that you can make out of your B schools is unimaginable, right? Because I mean, yeah, there are reasons. Even your maturity matters. So the community and the network that you make out of your B school is the treasure for life. You can imagine, uh, you are getting you are getting a God's gift. That's all, right? It is up to you how you are going to really make use of it. And then uh, you know make a better use of professors and try to have as much personal time with them. Believe me, more than what I have learned on the class when they teach, right? Of course we learn a huge amount. We given our professors knowledge and experience, when they teach 1 hour class, they would cover 100 hours of their experience. We cannot catch up everything, right? They are highly knowledgeable, no doubt. But when you have personal time, when you have a slowly, when you start from a friendly talking, or you get scolded by the professor and slowly you make him friend, etc., that personal connect, that personal input on the domain, on how you can progress in your course or in your career, even post your college, is, yeah, another bigger treasure. So don't miss it, right? The third important thing is, you know don't stop yourself limiting to your own gang. That too, now I don't know how long we are going to have this remote life. So with this situation, you may have access, or you may have possibility of connecting with very few number of people, maybe 4 or 5 in your class. But please, a humble request from your senior, that try to reach out and try to talk, leave away your ego, leave away how great you are, how small you are. You may be from North India, you may be from South India, you may be from East India, you may be from somewhere else. Forget all the differences. You will not know which of your classmate can be of help to you in the life, in lifetime that is going to come, right? So don't miss anybody, right? Every single human, everybody are very very important in our life, at least whatever the COVID taught. But one thing COVID taught us very very clearly, right? We cannot do anything wrong with nature. And end of the day, more than money and everything, true friends are very very important in any point of time in life, right? uh, Now all of us know that we have very less number of friends. We could have had a better friendship, we could have built a better personal relationship among our friends and relatives, right? So please start with your MBA, make your best use of all the classmates, try to talk to your juniors in the college, try to talk to your seniors in the college. Whenever some speakers comes, get connected with them on LinkedIn, try to connect with them in every possible way. This network will help you throughout your life, right? So with that note, thank you, Prep Zone, Shubham and others from Prep Zone team. And I once again congratulate and wish great success to each one of you on the call. I am more than happy to look forward to seeing you in any other possible way, or else let us get into a same company and let us contribute to the same team, and will make our future companies and our nation and the globe a better place. Thank you.
Yes.
If you have any question, and if you have any questions, probably you can post it. Shubham, do we have time for question and answer?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I'll just take over, and then we can open the podium for any Q&A.
Shubham,
Hello, hello.
you're on mute in case if you're talking.
Yeah, Madan. Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. And I hope the screen is also visible, right?
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, Madan.
Yeah.
We are able to hear you. So yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Madan, for sharing such insightful knowledge with everyone in the form of a chill out story, but I'm sure it was a deep moral story. So yeah, it was indeed an honor for not just the student, but also for all the mentors and the entire Prep Zone team to have you here today. So just because you were talking about the personal experience, do you remember, Madan, that once we were speaking on call probably a few months ago, you have suggested that we should have a Prep Zone a community. And finally, I think after a couple of months, finally, we are having a Prep Zone community on a LinkedIn group where I think most of these students will also be a part of. So yeah, thank you, I think, for your constant suggestions and in fact, your constant support and motivation to make Prep Zone what it is today. And yeah, so I think, yeah, with this, I'll just open the podium for any Q&A. So guys and students, if you want to ask or speak anything with Dr. Madan, feel free to do so. And we'll be discussing about the details of the workshop about individual domains after say 2-3 minutes. So you can unmute, you can speak up, or you can put it in chat, whatever is comfortable.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, Binav, please go on.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Madan sir and Shubham sir. I am Abhinav. I have just converted. I am Lucknow this year. So I would like to ask few questions.
Yeah.
Am I
Go
audible?
ahead, Abhinav.
Yeah,
Sir,
Binav, go.
what
Yes, you
certified
are.
courses one should do if he wants to make a career in consulting Prodman?
Okay. I think coming to the specific certification to any domain, uh, that will be specifically covered in the placement booster package. I think instead of like giving you a limited information, I would leave this question that will be covered by the consulting tutor.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think, yeah.
Okay, here is a
So,
question from Aditya.
yeah.
Yeah, Shubham, please.
No, yeah. Fair. So, Abhinav, we will come to the consulting thing as well, that what all will be covered as a part of the consulting or product management for that matter. Just hold on to her for a few more minutes and you'll probably have your answer.
So there is a question from Aditya. Let me read that out for everybody. How will MBA from home be a negative part as we might not be in campus for some time now? As you mentioned, connecting with professors. Yeah. So this remote is going to be. I mean, it is not. It okay. I don't want to comment on whether it is positive or negative because this is how it is going to be. So let us all pray nothing negative. My only thing, in fact, like okay, uh, let me put it this way. In my batch, I am one person who used to go and talk to everybody in the class. Okay, irrespective of age, experience. I go and chit chat with my juniors, seniors, everybody, and again professors. Even now, uh, you know, uh, uh, like whenever something happens in South India, I get call from our professors from Calcutta. They ask how I am, etc., and then they continuously give me tips on how can I do better in my job, etc. Similarly, whenever they revise curriculum and if it is something very uh, technical or if it is something related to analytics, then they will call me and they will ask input. And again, not only with me, with many other similar batchmates of my class. But even in my batch, there are quite a number of folks. They will be with the same 3-4 guys only. The whole 1 year they completed by talking to the 3-4 people, not with many people, right? uh, Probably I can give you an example. One of the guy, he had a tough situation in his job and he need to change quickly because he was under some harassment. I just don't want to name anybody. And then like he reached out to me, then I helped him and I referred him both in my company as well as in another company. It took some time for him to get a job. I think it was 7-8 months, but he got job in another company, not in Accenture. But like, when I was conversing with him, I told him that it was one mistake. Like he did not have many people to connect with. Then what happened was like I need to talk to my other friends and then connect him, and then they try to help him. So it is not about remote or physical. It is also about mindset, right? If you can make a positive approach towards your professors and the way you connect with everybody, you will still be able to do it. Now see, here there are no options, like few of them given online, few of them given offline, so you cannot choose the opposite. So it is the same scenario. If it is remote, it is remote for all. If it is going to be campus, it is campus for all. So try to make use of whatever the way you can influence. Just on other way, like just take a mission, like along with whatever I said and whatever the tutors are going to teach you, just make one more mission statement that I'm going to make more number of friends. Irrespective of age, irrespective of anything, just that's all. Making friends is fun, right? End of the day.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
So I have a question. Hello.
Yeah, Shashank, if you can talk a little louder.
Yeah. So, hi, sir. It was a great presentation. I had a question. So, doing this certification courses, so does it help like having a course certification from Udemy or Coursera? So, does that really make impact when it comes to shortlisting of CVs, or is it just for the sake of knowledge that students can pursue that?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fantastic question. I think okay, so I gave you 2 recruitment tips. Probably this may be a third recruitment tips, even on the priority perspective. Thanks, Shashank, for the question, first of all. So great question, by the way, right? Does certification help? Absolutely. No single doubt, right? As many certification you can do, it is going to really help you. Now here comes the trick. Now you yourself, either or else quickly evaluate in all the medium and then connect with your industry friends, seniors, etc. About the value of certification. For example, you said Udemy and you said Coursera. Now uh, uh, I'll take a third certification like Cloudera certificate for big data. Okay, the 3 certification. Now if I were you, if I do Cloudera big data certification, okay, what I'll do is, if I get the certification, then I will put that in my resume. Okay, I will showcase to my interviewer and I will tell him that I have done Cloudera so and so Hadoop certification. If I would have done Udemy certification, the content may be great, but it may not carry any higher value over your MBA degree. Right? Now here comes the trick. What I would do if I am a fresher person, I am sitting in front of interviewer, what I'll do is I'll do certification from Udemy. Udemy may be easier, they may explain better, it has all positiveness. But now, do I want to use my Udemy brand value along with my MBA college name? I wouldn't do that. Any MBA college must be better than Udemy brand. I'm not faulting Udemy at all. I have a great respect for Udemy, but you go through, put all your hard work and learn as much as you can. Don't put that in your resume. Now sit in front of the interviewer and you just say, sir, I have some, let's say you did analytics certification from Udemy. Just say, I am good at analytics. You ask any question from analytics. Let him ask question, and according to him, you are a fresh MBA. You have not done any course according to the profile, right? Now you answer from the certification. He will be surprised and shocked. He will think that, wow, this guy is already having experience. Don't say that I have done this project for that Coursera cornerstone project for that Coursera certification. Don't say it, but you express your knowledge. Believe me, the interview will be blown away. He will not have any other option other than selecting you. So doing certification, 100% it does help you. Now you need to choose. Now, if it is let's say, okay, I'll go back to a technical thing, right? If it is a Java certification, if it is from Oracle, right, you should put that. If you have a cloud certification from AWS, from Azure, you should put that in your profile. That will add a great value to you. But if you have done the same cloud certification from Udemy or any not so very popular or authentic platform, you have two advantages. You can just hide it for brand value. Also, you can hide it just to showcase your your skill. Yeah, cool.
Sir, I have a question regarding multiple specializations. Like you mentioned in the beginning of the session, that we should get as much of skills as we can. So I have a pre-MBA experience in technology consulting, and I was planning to go back into the same domain after my MBA. But suppose I join a college which is famous for its finance, and I do multiple specializations, one in one in IT management and the other in finance. And for some reason, I get placed in a finance company at the end of 2 years. How difficult is it to switch back if I don't like that domain?
Okay, another fantastic question, but let me set the context first. So, see, I'll give you the answer from my perspective, and it is not commonly applicable. Okay, I'm sure for the similar question, your mentors, your tutors will also give their answer. Please take all the answer and choose whichever you want to choose. Now, coming back to your answer, see, at least I would suggest that choose the domain of your interest rather than your college specialization. I may be spoiling you, but still, it's my answer, right? Better choose out of the domains. Once again, like I said, go for more domains, but be very clear. Having more will make you so confused, right? Better choose two domains only, one primary and one secondary. Be very clear. My suggestion is one primary, one secondary. That's all. And then coming to skills, in primary you do as many, in secondary you do as many. That's all. But domain, keep it two. And let's say if you are choosing a college, if your B school is, for example, it is very popular in finance, but your heart is totally against finance. Believe me, it is absolutely okay in my perspective to ignore finance and then focus on manufacturing or retail, which is of your interest. That's all. Dot.
Okay. But sir, like still, suppose I do get into finance and I want to switch. Is it difficult to switch like at the beginning of the career, or is it something like that I'll get stuck?
See, nothing is difficult. In fact, like, okay, see, when somebody can switch to new thing which is in demand, which is not their specialization, like in your case you said you comes with a technology consulting background. Now finance may be absolutely a non-explored domain for you in your lifetime, right? Now if you are saying that, okay, I am ready to clear off my head and I will say that, okay, I am zero in finance and I will put my complete focus to learn finance from zero to whatever the maximum I can learn, right? Now, if you are a person like that, then absolutely it is good. But the problem is, unlearn and relearn is not the cup of tea for everybody, right? Majority of us, we are good in doing something on our uh, already experienced domain, right? If you, or else, like, for example, somebody will say, I love retail. Okay, I love retail. Now if you are a person like you have already decided your passion, no problem, you can get into that. Don't confuse it for the sake of doing it. But otherwise, like, switching a domain, but if you are switching, make sure you are completely dedicated towards it.
Okay,
That's
sir.
a tough part.
Thank you, sir.
I think, guys, we will continue with the session now. We'll just talk about the details of the workshop now, and then after a few minutes, then we'll again open the podium for any Q&A. So yes, I think this is what many of you guys have been waiting for, that what this workshop is going to be, what all will be covered, because this was not published yet. This is something that we guys have been working upon and we have consulted Dr. Madan, and many other industry experts as well. So here comes the slide of your interest. This is the schedule of the session. We are having this inauguration session that is today, May 26th. Then we have divided this entire placement booster workshop into seven different modules, starting from finance, consulting, sales and marketing, then product management, then analytics, HR, and operations, supply chain management, and e-commerce as a single bundle. And in total, it's going to be a 25 plus hours of live session. Finance will be 6+ hours because there in finance you have multiple divisions like investment banking, corporate finance, and then stock market, etc., etc. So it's a 6+ hours of workshop, and other will be 3+ hours of workshop. But while drafting this entire curriculum, we have ensured that all the weekends happen only on the weekends. Like all the workshops happen only on the weekends, so that even the working guys can easily attend it. Timings will be Saturday, Sunday. Sunday will be flexible. Probably it will be announced to you in the WhatsApp group that you'll be added to. And on Saturday, it will most likely be in the night hours, so that people who unfortunately are even working now on Saturday, they still have enough time on their plate. So this is the schedule of the session. Now I'll just quickly introduce our team, which is going to be the speakers. These are Shikha Gupta from IIM Ahmedabad and Janvi, who was my batchmate from IIM Calcutta. She's also a CA, CFA. Shikha is currently working as an equity research person at BAMIL, and yeah, so these two will be the speaker, and they are going to be taking your finance workshop because these are the finance expert guys. So what is going to be taught in finance? We will talk about all of these things that is there right in front of your slide. You can just take a minute, you can go through it, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So we'll definitely start from the basics, and then we'll actually talk about the academic part. These are the things that any of you who is planning for day zero finance offers like Citibank, JP Morgan, then definitely you need to prepare all of these things. Either you can do it from Hull or say Damodaran, those sort of books, or you do it now and then you actually focus the entire first trimester on the topic so that you can crack your day zero dream offers. So this is going to be covered in finance. We will also be sharing a brochure. We'll publish it on the Facebook group so that you all can access everything. It will have all the details that you need. Moving
Shubham,
further.
I have one.
Yes.
Shubham, I have something to add there. So
yeah.
Can you go back? Go back again.
Yes. This one, Prashant?
No, last slide. Yes. So this is something unique to find someone like from finance area to like some females are teaching. So people think that finance is dominated by males. So this time, like no males interacting with on this topic. So make the best use of them, because last year Sika has taken some session of 20 hours. So this time she's cutting down to just 6 hours, and that to on our request, that because we don't have that much of time. So she'll be covering almost most of the topics of that you are going to explore in your first till third trimesters. So this is something I had to add.
Sure. Thank you, Prashant. So I think I was also getting a couple of requests from the students कि sir, जब ये सब MBA में पढ़ाया जाएगा, so why do you need to do it now? अगर अभी पढ़ लेंगे तो what will we do in summers? So let's just clear the air. This is not something जो हम लोग, so like whatever will be taught to you or like whatever we'll discuss on a case-based pedagogy, that will not something that will be taught to you in the first 3 trimesters. This is something that you guys prepare for the summers. So summer placement का जो preparation होता है, that is not same as what you guys study. You guys study theory, you guys write papers, you guys do projects, but then you have a different preparation for summers, which you have to do by yourself. That is where you have mentors coming in and then making you guide before you even go to the placement, so that your journey when you are in a B school is smoothened. So that was just to clear this concern that I think many of you have also texted me. So yeah, this is about finance. Then talking about consulting, we have Yash Pratap Singh. He is a graduate. He is an alumnus of IIM Bangalore, and he was my junior at IIT Gandhinagar. So you see, that is how networking helps you, that I can go back to my IIT Gandhinagar and then I can have students and then we can actually connect and then have these sessions. So he is currently also working with management consulting. And we have Divyam, who is again from IIM Calcutta, my junior. He is an IIT Delhi pass out, and he is currently interning at McKinsey. So he got placed with McKinsey. So I'm sure McKinsey is like a buzzword in the consulting, and you'll have a good time. Now, the curriculum about consulting will be, we'll start with basics. Ki, take what is consulting, what are the types, what are the sort of companies that come to the campus, what is a typical consultant day is going to be, what is the typical hierarchy from a consultant to say a principal of a company, right? Then the major part is this last thing, which is how to prepare for each step, especially case interviews. So this is something that you guys will be doing when you are into a B school for your summer placements if you're really, really keen on consulting division. So we will have case discussions, guesstimates, and then anything that is required to ace your summer interviews. And also from a CV point of view, what really helps you to get shortlisted, or like what are the things that companies actually look out for, because you have a one pager where you have to actually fit in your entire life. So we understand how difficult it is because we have been through that process. It takes, so I remember I had around 46 or 47 versions of my CV. And only after 46, 47 iterations, I was finally in a good shaped CV, which I can actually present to the recruiters. So yeah, it does take a lot of efforts. And that is why probably every MBA senior or every alumni will just tell you, have your CV in place before going to a B school. So yeah.
So I have something to add here.
Yeah, Prashant, please go on.
So people will say that why we are keeping someone who is interning with McKinsey. So here, like Divyam have already worked for almost 3 years with PwC before joining IIM Calcutta. So he has almost 3+ years of work ex before joining. So he has very good experience with PwC, and his Excel and PPT skills are phenomenal. So he can teach you a lot of things, because even in last year he has taken for his own batch the Excel and PPT session. So I remember it. I still remember that what all things he has taught. So this year he'll be more like he'll be making that expertise for you guys.
Sure.
Over to you, Shubham.
Yeah, thanks Prashant for adding value to this. So yeah, moving further, we have S&M, Sales and Marketing. And here we have Ansh Arora and Vishwas Jajodia from IIM Calcutta. You might be wondering why we have so many IIM Calcutta alumni. Just Calcutta is like famous, like, really my personal favorite. And then I'm really in touch with a lot of Calcutta folks. So these guys, we guys keep on discussing on like, how can we actually do things better. Hence, you'll see a lot of IIM Calcutta folks here. So Vishwas Jajodia was my senior when I was at IIM Calcutta. He has worked with companies like Paytm, Ola as a marketing sales manager, and is currently with Walmart. So he'll be there. And then we'll have Ansh Arora. He is a PNG PPO holder. He is currently working with PNG. And so this particular person, Ansh Arora, he has actually started this marketing club at IIM Calcutta. So I'm sure you'll really have a lot of good time with these guys, so that they can share their experience and the entire summer preparation package with you in the form of definitely case studies. So this is the curriculum for sales and marketing. You can just have a look at it. So most of the cases that you would also see by good companies like HUL or say PNG, it will be case based, where you'll be asked to design a GTM strategy and then talk about it and then present it. So these things will not just help you in the summer placement, but will also help you for your case competitions, which is like the buzzword when you go to the B school life. So that is it about sales and marketing. Next is my personal favorite. It is product management. And here you'll have me. I'm currently working with Naukri as a senior product manager. And then I've worked with Paytm as well as a product manager. So I'll be there talking about my experience of product management. Then we'll have Chirag and Samarth. So Samarth has been placed in the dream company to, I think, most of the guys. Like Flipkart is, I think, one of the highest paying company when you go to ABC. And the role is product management. While Flipkart does come for a lot of roles like, category management, brand management, etc., etc. But product management, they only recruit 1 or 2 guys. So he was one of the top person to be recruited. And these 2 guys, Chirag and Samarth, they have also started product management club at IIM Calcutta. So again, you guys can see the sort of value that you will have, and just a glimpse of a curriculum that will be taught to you will be this. We'll talk about the companies, those CV makings, the career trajectory, how can you switch jobs, So what also happened is like people join consulting because it's a fancy word, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, AT Kearney. But then because work-life balance is a myth, especially in those top consulting companies and top finance companies, they switch to a product management role after say 1 year or 2 years. So we'll talk about all of those stories as well, that how can you do it. And primarily we'll focus more on product management cases so that you guys know what you have to focus on for the next 3 months, 4 months. Because trust me, you'll feel you'll have time, but once you are into a B school, time will just flow away. You'll have so many assignments, late night submissions, deadline of which will be 23:59:59. You'll be working in a lot of projects, and then you'll be just totally busy. So I think this is the golden opportunity and the right time to make the worth. And yeah, that is about the product management. Then we have analytics. Goes without saying, we'll have Madan sir supporting us and Shelja. So Shelja is currently the president of I'm Community channel, which is the analytics focused channel. She's again uh, an alum of I'm Indore. She's from I think my senior batch as well, and she's currently working as an analytics manager. The curriculum of analytics will be this, where we'll also talk about advanced Excel skills. We'll talk about how do you create macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, match. So I think most of you had this query, sir, Excel mein kya karna hai, kaise karna hai. So I think everything will be covered here. Then we'll also give you tricks that how do you create your own live W dashboard. So I think most of the students who are going for analytics, or even guys, if you're not going for analytics, even if say you are going for a product management or say a consulting, analytics is something that you will be using nonetheless your specialization or your stream. Because I, as a product manager, I have to write Zeppelin queries, I have to write SQL queries, and then I have to fetch the data. Because whatever product I launch, I have to design metrics, those KPIs that I can actually validate the success of my product, that how many customers have I acquired, etc., etc., etc. And for that, you cannot just be dependent on someone else it just increases the lead time of a project. So it's very important that you guys know and become independent from now onward, so that you can actually use it to your advantage when you're sitting for your summer placements. And this is something that not many will help, many students will have when they'll be sitting. So this will sort of create a competitive edge for you guys. So yeah, that is it about analytics. Moving further, we'll also have workshops on HRM. There'll be a lot of students who are going to MDI HR, and Trichy HR, TIS HR, XLRI HRM. We'll have seniors from XLRI HRM who are currently working. So this person was in XLRI HRM. He was like a real pro. He has cracked a lot of case competition and has finally worked in companies like Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki, and is currently with Bajaj. And along with him, we'll have Divyanshu, who is currently the HR business partner for Godrej. So he has done his MBA from DSE, but then he really had a lot of corporate exposure and is currently working at a very esteemed organization as a business partner. So you'll have a lot of insights directly from what is it that you guys have to work for and what do these guys actually look for when they go for recruitment. Trust me, HR is way beyond recruitment. Yeah, Prashant.
So Divyanshu is someone, if your dream company is Godrej, and so he will be sitting in your placements also. So exactly. He's the person you should certainly interact out of these all the people, because he's the best person you can interact. If you can create your image in front of him, then Godrej will be in your pockets. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah. So he'll be shortlisting you.
Correct. Yeah, so this is the curriculum of HR, where we'll talk about a lot of practical applications. I think it's a myth कि यार HR वाले बंदे सिर्फ जाके company में recruitment का काम करते हैं. It does not happen that way. There's a lot of energy and projects that go in the back end as an HR. And these are just some of it that we'll talk about. We'll talk about summer internship projects, what is it that the companies look out for, and we'll also do case-based, some cases particularly to HR division. Then last but not the least, we have operations, and we have this fantastic guy, Kedar Joshi. He was the Amazon operations PPO holder, and he was also in the Dean's merit list from SPGen and is currently working in Amazon. So he was also the head of the operations club in SPGen, and will be taking you guys through the operations curriculum, which is this. And this is not just limited to operations, but it will be a mix of operations, supply chain management, and e-commerce. So guys who are really keen about this e-commerce and SCM world, I think this is the place for you to be.
So, so this is something we really struggle to get someone, because e-commerce is something people are very busy. So when I was talking to people from Flipkart or Amazon, they said we don't have any time because we are continuously working for at least 16 hours so that your delivery is on time.
True.
So this is the time that e-commerce and operations is playing the major role. Because of them, this nation is running actually. Cargo planes are flying, like on roads, you can see the trucks, you can see the trains. Still we are getting the oxygen and everything will be there. Yeah, Tanmay, no nitty people, we have interacted with a lot of nitty people, but everyone who is working in operation domain, they said no, we don't have any time. Even this guy is struggling to come, so he has taken very like some dates in June for the session. So it's very difficult for operations guys to take out time from their busy schedules.
True, because these
So
guys are actually
see
working
that,
on Saturdays and Sundays as well. They don't really have
yes,
weekend culture.
60. So I had word with people who was working with Amazon, Flipkart, Grofers, Zomato, everywhere, but people don't have any time to speak for even a 2 hour or 3 hour.
True. Sure. Thanks, Prashant. And with this, I think I'll just give you guys one last thing. That so far, I think we have only talked about the different courses or the different subjects that you guys have. In addition to these 7 streams, we also have 2 really unique package for you guys, which is CV reviews, where you will be assigned to a person from the college that you're joining, and he'll be helping you shape your CV in what it should be when you are actually presenting it to a recruiter. So the activities that you'll have to do otherwise, sitting at home while struggling to follow the B school curriculum, that is something that you can actually do in the next 2 months. So that is also included here. The CV review package is there. And then you also have this a case competition. So what I meant by case competition is you guys will be given some sample cases. You guys will actually work and we will create new cases for you guys. And then a topic will be given to you along with a deadline. You guys will also be formed in groups. So we'll probably assign 2, 3, 4 guys in a single group. And then you guys have to submit the case study solution within a deadline. So like B school curriculum works in a deadline manner. And this is like a precursor or like, basically a sample B school case competition that you're going to go. So this is the opportunity for you guys to actually explore how case competitions work, how do you create the PPTs and get the feedback which you guys will not get in a B school. Get the feedback directly from the industry expert who will be reviewing you. So you have to submit the PPT and then you have to present the PPT in front of the panelist within a very short duration. And then those will be judging you, they'll be giving you the feedback, and then we'll be announcing the winners as well. So all of it
So
is available. Yeah, Prashant.
this is something which is very unique for this course. So no one is going to review your PPTs for your case competitions, because in the first term itself, we are going to get a lot of competition. So what happened that people just jump on that. You can see that 200 teams from one campus registering for one event.
True.
But very few people maintain this enthusiasm till the last 6th term. So even we will tell you which competition to select from those, like 5-10 competition that come to your campus or the national level competitions, and you'll be also getting the proper feedback on all your presentations. So that is very unique with us, and no one in India is doing this.
Agreed. Absolutely. Like you can go cross check whosoever is doing it, like because you've researched it well. And we really found that case competition is something, because people say, yeah, MBA ka jo curriculum hota hai, that is very much case competition based. But then no one actually knows ki when you're actually working for a case competition for say HUL or say PNG, करना क्या है, PPT कैसे बनाना है, how those corporate or those professional PPTs should be, what content to do, ज़्यादा content डालना है, फिर slides में कम content डालना है. No one actually knows it. That is where you get an opportunity to get a feedback from the industry experts whom you will also be presenting. So everything is included in this. That is the first package. If still you feel that you don't need CV reviews, you don't need case competition, we have another package for it, which is only placement booster workshops, where you can just attend the session, but it will not have CV reviews and case competition. Third is, if you only want CV reviews to be done, yes, there's a package for that as well. Last but not the least, you even have customization to a level that, sir, मुझे तो finance में ही जाना है. I'm like 200% sure. I'm very sure कि मेरा finance में हो जाएगा and मुझे finance में जाना है. So I only want to attend finance का workshop, or I only want to attend consulting का workshop. That is it. So you can even do that. You can just select one particular module and register for that workshop. So I think, yeah, with this, I'll just open the forum for any Q&A that you guys have about the event, about the workshop, about the sections. Yeah.
Shubham, we have already 2 questions in your chat box.
Okay. I will just see that. No, I can't see it. I think it's last one was at Tanmay's, which you already.
No,
answered.
above that. One is from Shruti and one is from Bliss.
Okay. How to choose your calling domain? Is it necessary that your work experience is aligned to your placement that you're aiming for? So Bliss, the answer is, see, how do you choose your calling or domain is when you know, okay, what you are going to study or what the sort of work that you're going to do in selected domains, right? So as I think Madan, Dr. Madan has also rightly mentioned that you should not look at that what this campus is famous for. Yeah, Calcutta is for marketing, Bangalore is for consulting, Ahmedabad is for marketing. So I'll probably go for these domains. No, that even in my opinion, that is my personal suggestion. Again, I might be wrong, but yeah, that is also my opinion that you should look for something which you love or which you think that is this sort of work is what I'm going to enjoy. And that you will only be able to figure out once you know what is going to be there in all the individual streams. And that is where this entire workshop comes into picture, because you will have an idea of all the unique streams before you even join the campus. So you will have a fair idea that where is it that I actually want to build my career. Now, Bliss, coming to the second part of your question, is it necessary that your work experience is aligned to your placement that you're aiming for? Absolutely not. I think most of you guys do an MBA, like, not the formal why MBA answer, but yes, most of you do an MBA because you want to switch your domain. You don't really like the work that you've been doing. Maybe you are into IT or coding, you don't like it, you want to switch it. You plan ki, theek hai yaar, there is MBA is like the shortcut way. It's the pathway for me to reach my destination. So yeah, in short, the answer is no. Work X need not be aligned.
Just a small follow-up question on that. For someone who is indecisive on the domain, you would suggest by your what you said, you'd suggest that one should attend multiple workshops and then make a right call as to what you learned and what the kind of work would be involved, and then make the decision, right?
Yes, absolutely. See, final decision has to be yours. It should not be mine or Prashant or Madan sir's. It has to be yours. And then that can only come once you know, and once you feel an inclination, ki, yaar, yes, this is the work I really enjoy. I didn't know that finance is not just about those valuation or say, balance sheet, etc., etc. It is a lot about number crunching. I like math. So maybe corporate finance is something that I might like. So yes, final decision has to be yours basis what you like and what the rules or the different companies offer you.
Okay. Thank you, Shubham.
Sure. Thanks, Bliss. Shruti, your question is, so being from a non-tech background and exposure in finance until now, I see artificial intelligence merging in finance. Does building skills right now make sense, or it is better to move with flow? Okay. Madan, sir, I'll probably ask you to take this question if you're available.
Sure, Shubham. So interesting question. See, actually, the answer you need to be you need to be carefully listening my answer. Okay. See, build your AI skills separately and move with the flow.
Okay,
As
sir.
far as
Yes, I'm listening to you. Yeah.
good. Cool.
Okay. So I think Aditya has another question. He asks, one module plus CV reviews plus case competition. Do we have this customization? Like if someone wants a complete package for a specific domain? No, Aditya. Like the packages that are currently customized are the ones that we have already told about. So yeah, like you have an option to buy them individually, but then we don't have a combo for it.
Shubham, just confirming, like if we choose to go ahead with the workshop for one domain, case competitions won't be covered in the same, right?
Correct, correct. Because case competitions will probably give you a case which will be a mix of different domains. Hence, it is not directly clubbable with any particular stream.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Sure. So I think I'll be here for next 3, 4, 5 more minutes. And if you guys have anything to ask, to share, to talk about, you can do it.
While others are coming with a question, probably my suggestion, it's not an input from Shubham to me or anything. My suggestion is, if you are confused about choosing your domain, or maybe one domain you think that is your favorite, and you are not sure about other domains, I would just genuinely suggest that better enroll for the overall course. I'm sure it's a short duration. I looked at the number of hours each domains are being discussed here, so it will make a good knowledge session for you to understand all the domain. That will be very useful for your course, and then you can better take your decision, right? Otherwise, either you will be missing the interesting domain of yours, by assuming it is not, then you would miss it, or vice versa, right? So I would recommend, like, if you're a little confused, better you can take the complete workshop and experience the whole this thing, and kick off your 2-year MBA program with ocean of knowledge, and you know exactly which fruit to pick in your 2 years. So just my personal suggestion. As I said, once again, the disclaimer is Shivam did not ask me to say this. This is my own personal.
Sir, I have a question for Madan sir.
Yes, Suraj, please go.
Yeah.
So, sir, suppose if someone is from a statistics and analytics background, so how difficult it is for them to switch this background, like move to marketing or consulting? I mean, do recruiters look for such candidates?
So even Shubham made a point, right? Any domain for that matter, as long as you are going to have some analytics mix, you will be in high demand. As simple as that. Now your case is very interesting. Okay, you're saying you come with analytics background, right? Honestly speaking, if you play your coins correctly, you are already a hotcake. So any domain you choose of your interest, I mean, before choosing, just try to read about all the domains enough, and then pick. In fact, like, if I were you, I would choose 2 domains along with analytics, because if you are choosing any single domain excluding analytics, and then your second domain is going to be analytics, analytics will take a lot of time for preparation. As you are an analytics person already, you can actually start with one of the interesting domain. Let's say an example, finance. If you feel like you have learned enough and you can tackle scenario and you want to explore more, because in analytics what happens, Suraj, uh, when you have more domain knowledge, that mix, and then when you present your data differently to any domain, right, the output will be awesome. So that combination, that knowledge is what highly appreciated in analytics industry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think we don't have any more question. We can then conclude this.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
good evening, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
my
Gopal.
question is, my question, sir, being from a tier 2, tier 3 college like Symbiosis, SIIB Pune, how is it is difficult to sustain in the long run, or how the path will be after MBA, 2 years of MBA from tier 2 college?
Okay.
Okay. So Shubham, you want to take?
Yeah, I think I can take that.
I can take this.
Okay,
I can
Prashant,
take
go.
this.
Okay, go on.
So Gopal, I want to quote one report that came like in 2019. So someone has conducted this research and they came with this fact that tier 2 people are doing better than tier 1 B school grads. Why? Because tier 2 people don't just like hesitate to take any opportunity. Tier 1 people just take that I just want to go to IB, I just want to go to PE. They don't just evaluate themselves, and because they are in running in rat race and they continue in doing that, while people coming from tier 2 B schools, if they have like knowledge or they are willing to learn, they perform very well throughout their career. Yeah, in the starting your college name matters, but after 3 years what matters is your skills, that how on which projects you have worked, on which client you have dealt with. So make sure that when you start your career, you keep on learning new things and doing good job. And after 3 years, you are going to be at par with any tier 1B school or anyone. So this is
Okay, sir.
intake, and you can just, if you can, I'll search that, get that report, I'll share with you. So this is the fact, and that was coming from a survey, proper data backed survey.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
just to add my own personal experience, Gopal. So currently, I have a senior in Naukri.com who is a graduate of Nasi Munji, and he is currently a senior product manager. So while the policy of Naukri or InfoEdge is that they only hire from IIM, ABC, and FMS. So while this may be true for the initial years, however, this is not true, say, after 3 years or say 5 years down the line. In the long run, what is going to make a difference for you? You guys may even overtake the guys from ABC. Definitely you can. So what will actually make a difference is what have you learned throughout the last 4 or 5 years, whatever companies or like whatever role that you have worked in, what is the kind of work that you have done, what is your appreciation, how much weightage does your CV carry? And when I talk about CV, I don't just mean the name of the B school. It also talks about what are the sort of projects that you have done. So yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So probably just to add one more point to Gopal and others, you would have got ABC or anything else. What matters is it's not the institute, but the individual.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone has any more question? Or I think we are actually running out of time, but yeah, hope it was worth it. Fine. So yeah, I think with this we can conclude. Thank you so much, Dr. Madan, again for taking out I think almost 2 hours for the students and for the Prabzone. I think yeah, it was a wonderful session, and yeah, thank you so much. And guys, we hope to
Thanks
see you.
everybody. Thanks Shubham for the opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed being with all of you. And once again, big congratulations and wish you all the best.
And one announcement that I have for people who have already enrolled. So your first assignment is ready, because if you join B school, so you are not going to enter without any assignment. Before any classes start, you will get some assignment. So it's already there in your like message boxes. So start working on it and come prepared before your first class.
Yeah, and guys, deadlines will be definitely sacrosanct. So whatever B school you join, deadlines will be sacrosanct. Timelines will be like 23, 59, 59. Even if you submit your CV or say resume after, say at 12 o'clock in the night, which is after 1 second, it will be rejected. You will not be allowed to apply to a campus. So let's learn it right from now. Like we guys try to push it to our mentees throughout the GDPI or the CAD program as well. But yeah, let's just do it even now while submitting your assignments. Okay, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, have a good night and stay safe.